What if I told you the secret to financial freedom isn't some complicated new app, but a simple truth the banking system isn't built to encourage? For years, the financial world has profited from a system that can feel confusing, trapping you in a cycle of fees, debt, and stress. They benefit when you think managing your money has to be complicated, full of spreadsheets, confusing statements, and that low-grade anxiety of not knowing where your money is really going. But it doesn't have to be that way. If you feel like you're bad with money, I want you to reconsider. You're not bad with money. You're caught in a system that benefits from a lack of clarity. It's a system that creates a kind of financial fog, making it almost impossible to see the path forward. You work hard, you earn a paycheck, but at the end of the month, you're left wondering, where did it all go? You are not alone. That feeling of being financially controlled is a byproduct of their business model. But in this video, I'm going to show you a timeless, incredibly simple 5-jar method that puts you back in the driver's seat. Let's be honest. The modern banking system isn't set up like a charity, it's a business. And while it offers essential services, it profits most when your financial life is complicated. Think about it. You probably got a checking account, a savings account paying next to nothing, a couple of credit cards, maybe a car loan or student debt. Each one has its own rules, its own statements, its own due dates, and most importantly, its own set of fees and penalties. This complexity can be overwhelming, and when you're overwhelmed, it's easy to make mistakes. You might miss a payment, overspend, or dip a few dollars into the negative on your checking account. The system makes you feel like it's a personal failure, but it's not. It's an outcome of a system that has perfected the art of profiting from normal human behavior. This financial fog keeps you dependent, keeps you reaching for their products, their credit cards for emergencies, their loans for big purchases, their overdraft protection for small miscalculations. They offer solutions to the very problems their complexity helps create. It's a brilliant, self-sustaining business model, and the stress you feel about money is the exhaust fumes. So where does their profit really come from? It's not just big loans. It's from 1,000 tiny cuts that can bleed your accounts dry. First, let's talk about the king of junk fees, the overdraft fee. Banks might call it a service, but let us call it what it is: a high-interest loan for having a negative balance for 5 minutes. Bankrate's 2024 data shows the average overdraft fee is a staggering $27.08. You buy a $5 coffee. Your account dips by $1, and suddenly that coffee costs you over $30. It's an absurd penalty. While some banks have started reducing these fees due to public pressure, the biggest banks still collected billions in overdraft fees in 2024 alone. They fight to protect this revenue because it's pure profit, generated from your most vulnerable financial moments. Then you have monthly maintenance fees. This is the fee you pay for the privilege of letting the bank hold and use your money. It can be $5, $15 or more a month. Sure, there are often complicated rules to get it waived, like keeping a minimum balance. But that's its own kind of trap. It's forcing you to leave cash in a low-yield account where it's losing buying power to inflation instead of being invested. This whole structure nudges you toward debt. When you don't have a clear savings system, what happens when your car breaks down? You reach for a credit card. You take out a loan. A customer who saves diligently and avoids debt isn't nearly as profitable as one who carries a credit card balance and is one emergency away from needing a loan. Your debt is their asset. If any of this sounds familiar, if you're tired of playing a game where it feels like the rules are written for someone else, then hit that subscribe button. Because the solution I'm about to share isn't just a budget, it's a declaration of your financial independence. Now let's cut through that financial fog. The antidote to the complexity banks thrive on is radical simplicity. And it doesn't get much simpler or more powerful than the 5-jar system. This idea has been around for years in different forms, sometimes called envelope or pot budgeting, because it's based on timeless wisdom. Forget the apps that harvest your data. We're going back to a tangible, psychologically powerful concept. The idea is to divide your income into 5 distinct jars. The moment you get paid, each jar has one job, and one job only. This is about more than just tracking expenses. It's about giving every single dollar a purpose before the month even begins. The power is in its clarity. When your money is separated into purposeful piles, you see exactly what you have for bills, for fun, and for your future. It removes the guesswork and anxiety. This clarity is what makes the banking model less effective on you, because a person with clarity doesn't need confusing products or fall into fee-based traps. So what are these 5 jars? The percentages are just a starting point. You should absolutely adjust them to fit your life, but the principles are what count. Jar 1. Responsibilities, 50 to 55% of your income. This is your foundation. This jar covers your essential living costs: rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, and insurance. These are the non-negotiables. By allocating a specific chunk of your income here first, you guarantee that your core obligations are always covered. No more stress sweating at the end of the month, wondering if you'll have enough for rent. Jar 2. Investing in wealth building, 10 to 20%. This is arguably the most important jar for your long-term freedom. This isn't just saving. This is money you put to work to make more money. This is for retirement accounts, index funds, or other assets that grow over time. This is your escape hatch from the 9-to-5. By consistently feeding this jar, you're building a future where you are no longer dependent on a paycheck, let alone the banks. Jar 3. Long-term savings, 10%. This is your financial shield, your anti-panic fund. This jar is for specific large purchases on the horizon. A down payment, a new car, a dream vacation. It's also your emergency fund. When that unexpected expense hits, you don't panic and grab a credit card. You calmly turn to your savings jar, which you've been filling for this exact purpose. This one habit starves banks of both the credit card interest and the crisis loan applications they profit from. Jar 4. Guilt-free spending, 10%. This is the fun jar, and it is absolutely essential. Most budgets fail because they are too restrictive. They make you feel guilty for enjoying your life. This jar is the opposite. It is money you are supposed to spend on whatever you want. No questions asked. Concerts, dinner out, a new hobby. When the money's gone for the month, it's gone. But while it's there, you can spend it with zero guilt because you know your bills, savings, and investments are already handled. Jar 5. Giving and charity, 5 to 10%. The final jar connects your money to your values. This could be for charities, gifts for loved ones, or supporting a cause you believe in. This practice fosters a mindset of abundance over scarcity. It reinforces the idea that money is a tool not just for your own life, but for making a positive impact. Psychologically, it's incredibly rewarding. You can do this with actual jars and cash, or just by opening multiple free savings accounts online and giving them nicknames. The method is less important than the act of separation. So you see it now, right? Are banks literally having meetings about your mason jars? Of course not. But this system is a direct challenge to the business model that profits from chaos. Every jar systematically dismantles one of their revenue streams. Your responsibilities jar ensures bills are paid, eliminating late fees. Your long-term savings jar is your own emergency fund, which means you don't need to turn to their high-interest credit cards or personal loans when things go wrong. Your guilt-free spending jar provides a controlled outlet, preventing the kind of blowout, credit-fueled spending that racks up huge interest charges. Your investing jar builds a future where you won't need their expensive financial advice or products, because you'll have your own assets working for you. You become your own source of wealth. This system replaces financial fog with absolute clarity. It replaces dependency with self-reliance. An organized and intentional customer is simply a less profitable customer. They can't sell complexity to someone who has embraced simplicity. And they can't collect endless fees from someone whose every dollar has a job. For too long, managing money has been made to feel like a complicated game you can't win. But you don't have to play by those rules. The 5-jar system is the key to changing the game. It's more than a budget. It's a plan for taking back control. We're telling the financial system that you no longer need its confusing rules, its predatory fees, or its cycle of debt. It starts with one paycheck, divided into 5 jars. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's a strategy they'd rather you didn't know. Let me know in the comments which jar you're most excited to set up first. And if you're ready to take back control of your financial life, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more ways to beat the system and build real wealth.